Honda ZR-V shows an understanding of what a lot of people want from a mid-size SUV. It's very spacious, well-built, and offers impressive real-world fuel economy thanks to its hybrid powertrain. The simple, logical cabin and infotainment setup are also plus points, as is the generous amount of standard equipment. However, the ZR-V is several £1,000s more expensive to buy than hybrid versions of the Honda's more practical and arguably better-looking family SUV rivals. We also can't help but feel that most buyers would be better served by Honda's highly acclaimed Civic hatchback, as it uses the same hybrid setup and is better value for money. Honda, like all major car makers, has recognized that SUVs are what brings in the big bucks. That's why the Japanese brand recently doubled the number of SUVs in its lineup, with the new mid-size ZR-V and all-electric ENI1 joining the familiar compact HR-V and larger CR-V. The latter has actually grown in size for the latest 6th generation model, which has allowed the ZR-V to sit underneath. That puts the ZR-V in the firing line of some of the best-selling cars in the UK, including the head-turning Hyundai Tucson, our mid-size SUV of the year for the past 3 years, plus the tech-filled Volkswagen Tiguan, and hugely popular Nissan Qashqai. The ZR-V is, in effect, a crossover version of Honda's popular family hatchback and our affordable hybrid car of the year for 2023, the Civic. It uses the same platform as the Civic, and like the acclaimed hatch, it's only available with Honda's EHEV hybrid powertrain. This combines a 4-cylinder petrol engine under the bonnet with 2 electric motors, all working together to drive the front wheels. The engine is mainly used as a generator to power its minute 1.05 kilowatt-hour battery pack, which in turn feeds the electric motors, but it can drive the front wheels directly at high speeds. It's a complex system on paper, but on the road it's extremely smooth and allows the ZR-V to drive like an EV, just with a petrol engine whirring away in the background. As well as the sole powertrain option in the ZR-V, there are just 3 trim levels to choose from: Elegance, Sport, and Advance. Even entry-level Elegance models are generously equipped with 18-inch alloy wheels, a 10.2-inch digital driver's display, 9-inch touchscreen, Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay connectivity, front and rear parking sensors, a reversing camera, and a suite of driver assistance and safety features called Honda Sensing. We go for the Sport trim ourselves, as it adds wireless smartphone charging, extra USB ports, a powered tailgate and half-leather seats, plus some styling tweaks. Top-of-the-range Advanced models come with a panoramic sunroof and a Bose sound system, among other luxuries. There isn't much in the way of customization for ZR-V buyers, with most personalization coming from a range of colors and exterior styling packs. Of course, you should expect plenty of standard kit when you consider the ZR-V's price tag. It currently starts from a fiver under $39,000, which is several £1,000s more expensive than hybrid versions of the Kia Sportage or Hyundai Tucson. In fact, the ZR-V has a higher starting price than the all-electric Skoda Enyaq. But the most impressive thing about the power setup is the efficiency. The official figure sits at 48.7 miles per gallon, but we got 51 miles per gallon without much trouble. With the electric motor mounted on the front axle doing a lot of the work, you'll see a dip in that efficiency if you do a lot of motorway miles, as the petrol engine is constantly charging the battery the motor runs off. You'll also notice a lot of noise from the tires. On a twisty road, the ZR-V is not shoddy by any means. It holds the road well, has decent punch out of corners when you floor the throttle, and body roll is kept mostly in check. You will feel some firmness through the suspension at times though, particularly noticeable over sharper bumps in town. But slower driving is where the ZR-V is truly excellent. The electric motor has enough zip to get you up to speed, and you'll barely hear the petrol engine kick in when it's needed. Visibility and maneuverability are also great. While the Honda ZR-V is by no means a bad car thanks to its lovely cabin design and efficient power setup, there are some pieces of the puzzle missing to make it a true challenger in the mid-size SUV market. The Honda ZR-V has a price of $40,000. At first glance, the ZR-V is much more expensive than the alternatives. Without reading into it further though, you'd miss the fact that the Honda is actually very similarly priced if it's put up like for like with models like the Nissan Qashqai e-Power and similarly powered versions of the Hyundai Tucson and Kia Sportage. As there's no other power option, you can only truly compare against alternatives with similar engines. There's no hiding the fact that it's quite costly in this part of the market, but for that you get excellent equipment as standard across the range, such as adaptive cruise control and the large displays. With its super quiet electric motor, the ZR-V glides through town without too many issues. As an EV-driven car, you get decent acceleration from the motor to help you away from junctions, and the petrol engine only kicks in if you really want to push hard. You have a large rear window, 2 ample wing mirrors, and relatively slim A-pillars to ensure you have good visibility. That's aided by a rear-facing camera as standard, while front and rear parking sensors help with maneuvering. What you will notice is that sharper bumps will be more pronounced in the cabin if you're driving at slower speeds, but they're smoothed out well the faster you go. Up front in the ZR-V, you'll find ample room for the driver and passenger, as well as good levels of adjustment in the seats. Sport and Advanced models get electric seat adjustment to make the process even easier. The door bins are of a decent size, but while there's a good space for a water bottle, the rest of it is a bit thin. You'll also find a couple of charge ports and a place for your devices under the central armrest, while 2 cup holders sit in front of another storage bin. The cup holders are quite large though, so smaller cups and bottles can topple over. Under the armrest, which annoyingly can't be adjusted, there's a deep space to keep things too. This is where the ZR-V falls behind its alternatives. You'll only have access to 380 liters in the boot, and that's reduced further if you choose the Advanced model, as the Bose 12-speaker sound system's subwoofer takes up 10 liters. The Nissan Qashqai, which has a similar hybrid system with its e-Power version, offers 435 liters, while the self-charging hybrid Kia Sportage and Hyundai Tucson models offer 587 liters and 616 liters respectively. You don't get through loading with the ZR-V either, but you get split folding to help with loading longer items. There's a handy space to put the load cover under the floor though, as well as a load lip level with the floor so you can slide things in and out easily enough. Folding down the seats opens up a 1,000-liter space. There's no ridge to push things over, so you can load larger items easily. You'll also see hooks either side to hang bags and a 12-volt socket. That is it for today. Make sure to like and subscribe.